Good day, it's Tony Fortunato from the technology firm. We're continuing our series about baselining and protocol analysis. In this example, I'm going to spend a little bit of time on the beginning of the conversation, and I'm going to show you that the first half dozen packets or so are going to be more important than any other part of the trace for baselining and troubleshooting reference. So here's our trace file, and in the previous videos, I've already discussed disabling the color, getting rid of the panes you don't need, all that other good stuff, and now we have the screen set up the way we want it. So if your screen does not look like this, just watch the previous video, take a few seconds, and you'll have the same thing I got. So here's our client talking to the server, and even if you don't know what the IPs are, it doesn't matter. Let's look at the port numbers. So the client has this port number, it's a high port number, talking to this port 80. The arrow means talking to, so therefore the destination IP is 2, right? So .1 is a server. There's our SYN. And the server will respond to this SYN with a SYN ACK, and then you get an ACK back. It's called a three-way handshake. Back to the SYN. Client sends the SYN packet to the server, and we can see a lot about the client. We'll see the window size. This is called a window scaling factor, and the combination of them two will give you the total window size, or the receiver window size of that client. We also have the maximum segment size, which is the amount of payload or data we can put in the TCP packet. And SAC perm means selective acknowledgement is permitted or enabled, which means we have a more efficient retransmission algorithm. The other guy needs to support it as well. So we're going to take a look at that. So now the server responds 80 back to 4211, right? Make sure these port numbers line up because you could have several conversations going on at the same time. Same deal. We have the window size, we have the SAC, the scaling factor, SAC permitted is 1, and the maximum segment size is 1460. Great job. Now here's the thing. The TCP SYN and the SYN ACK is called a TCP Connect. A lot of service level programs, application monitoring programs will look at that TCP Connect time and they'll graph it or log it or whatever they do with it. And we just did it manually. So that's 52 milliseconds. That's how long that took. Now here's the interesting thing. I got 52 milliseconds back from the server, so I got a little bit of round trip time. This is from the client side. So if you thought 52 milliseconds was too slow, guess what? You got to go to the server side and see if it's consistent, or along the way and see if it's consistent. And just because these two look like they're on the same subnet, they might not be. They could be connected via some kind of transparent link. Who knows, right? So don't assume. Next thing, we got a command comes out from the client, says get HTTP to the server. The server responds, and he sends this ACK with some data, and then another packet with the data. So it took 2 packets to make up the response. So here's the thing. We got this get, we get the client asking the server for the data, the server sends this back 31 milliseconds later, and then 44 milliseconds after that, you get more data. So now we have an idea of response time for the application layer this time. So this is really, really important. So now when you look at your troubleshooting, your baselining, we have TCP connection times and we have HTTP response times as well. And you can repeat that through the entire trace. There you go. Hope that helps. Have a good day. Bye for now.